영어 동화 세상 리틀팍스.
Rocket Girl's Galaxy Squad Adventure. Chapter 1. A Small Problem. Coslin looked at all the cameras.
Cool, I'm going to be on TV.
The show's host, Tark Zeldo, walked over.
Kid Comet, I'm glad you're here. We'll have a wonderful interview.
Coslin and Tark sat down. Tark looked at a camera.
Good morning, Delcor. Kid Comet is with me to talk about her life as a superhero. So, Kid Comet, what's it like being so powerful?
Coslin shrugged.
It's not a big deal, to me at least. I've been powerful for my entire life.
You have a pretty big job keeping us safe all by yourself,
Tark said.
Do you ever wish Delcor had more superheroes?
Coslin snorted.
I don't need help.
Tark's device beeped.
Oh, I'm getting some breaking news. A big robot's invading our city.
Coslin waved a hand.
I'll be right back, Tark.
Zoom! Coslin was gone in a flash. Downtown, she saw Delcorians running all over. Smoke rose from an intersection and a big robot crushed a bus. Crunch! Zap! Lasers shot from Coslin's hand, destroying the robot. Kaboom! Coslin laughed.
What a junkie.
Another robot threw a car at her. Zap! Coslin blasted that robot. But then another robot appeared and smashed a police car.
Kid Comet!
A voice cried. It was Detective Borzon. He was hiding behind a tree with several other Delcorians. Coslin hurried over.
Is that your car, Detective? It looks great. I like all the deads.
The detective frowned.
Ha ha. This is serious, Kid Comet.
Coslin shrugged.
I know it seems serious, Detective, but I can handle it.
She scratched her head.
I'm confused, though. Tark Zeldo said there was one robot. I've seen 3.
At first there was one, someone said. But...
Look!
Detective Borzon pointed. Coslin spun around. One of the robots ate a car. Strange sounds came from inside the robot. Then a hatch popped open on the back of the robot. A new robot popped out. Down the street, she saw another robot eat a car and make a new robot. Coslin flew high into the air. She looked down and gasped. Robots were everywhere.
I'm mad.
Roxy said. Roxy and her friends were walking home from school, talking about their day. During recess, an older kid had made fun of Terrell for wearing glasses.
I was mad too,
Mara said.
but at least he apologized.
He seemed pretty sorry.
Jack said. Roxy frowned.
He only apologized because he got in trouble. A teacher had to talk to him first.
Terrell shrugged.
It's not a big deal, Roxy.
Jack and Mara turned left to go to their homes. Roxy and Terrell walked together.
I don't think you should forgive the kid, Terrell.
Roxy said.
When people are bad, they're always bad.
That sounds kind of harsh.
Terrell said.
Remember Dr. Odd, the robot maker?
Terrell nodded.
He was just released from prison for good behavior.
Roxy said.
But there's no way he's a good guy now.
Maybe he changed.
Terrell said.
No way!
Roxy repeated.
It's only a matter of time before he commits more crimes.
Just then, Roxy's watch beeped.
Mayor Bloom, what's wrong?
The mayor looked scared.
We need help, Rocket Girl. There's a huge monster in downtown Metro City.
Rocket Girl's Galaxy Squad Adventure, Chapter 2, The Enormous Monster. Roxy looked at Terrell.
I have to stop that monster.
See you later.
Terrell mumbled before walking away.
That's odd.
Roxy thought.
Terrell seems annoyed. I wonder why.
She sighed.
I can't think about that now.
A moment later, she was flying over the city.
Roar!
An enormous monster stood between several tall buildings.
Whoa!
Roxy said.
That monster is huge!
In the streets below, people ran in every direction.
Look out!
A taxi driver shouted.
Run for your lives!
A construction worker yelled. Crash! 2 cars hit each other. Roxy flew down fast.
Is everyone okay?
She asked. One driver gave her a thumbs up.
I'm fine.
She said.
This car was old anyway.
The other driver frowned.
I spilled a mango smoothie all over myself.
He sighed.
But I'm okay. Rocket Girl!
Detective Smith shouted. Roxy saw the detective hiding behind a hot dog stand. She flew over to him.
Hi, Detective.
Roxy said.
I didn't know you worked at a hot dog stand.
The detective frowned.
Very funny, Rocket Girl.
Do you know where the monster came from?
Roxy asked.
I have no idea.
Detective Smith said. The hot dog stand owner popped up from behind the stand.
It just appeared suddenly.
Huh?
Roxy said.
Everything was fine
The owner said.
until I looked down to get a hot dog for a customer. When I looked back up, that monster was here.
Roar!
The monster walked down the street as cars and buses swerved to avoid being hit.
Wait here, Detective.
Roxy flew after the enormous monster.
Hey! Stop right there!
The monster didn't seem to hear her. It kept walking slowly. Roxy got ready to fire her eye laser beams. But then a bus turned too fast and flipped over. Roxy shot back down to the street and lifted the bus back onto its wheels.
Thanks, Rocket Girl!
The bus driver slammed on the gas pedal and sped away. Roxy flew back up and saw the enormous monster swatting at helicopters. One helicopter swerved and its tail bumped a building. The tail broke, smoke poured out, and the helicopter began to spiral down.
Yikes!
Roxy shot through the air and grabbed the helicopter with both hands. Roxy struggled to slow the helicopter down. Finally, she brought it down safely in Metro City Park. The pilot wiped sweat from his forehead.
Thanks, Rocket Girl.
Roxy smiled.
No problem.
She quickly flew back downtown. The monster headed down a wide street. As Roxy followed it, she noticed something odd.
That monster is moving silently.
She thought.
I don't hear any stomping.
Then she gasped. The monster's paws seemed to go right through a building. But the building looked fine. Roxy scratched her head.
Is the monster a hologram?
The monster was now walking toward the mountains outside the city. She followed it out of the city. Blink! It disappeared. Confused, Roxy looked all around. Then she saw a familiar alien superhero nearby.
Kid Comet!
Roxy shouted. Coslin grinned.
Hey, Rocket Girl.
Rocket Girl's Galaxy Squad Adventure, Chapter 3, Not a Big Deal. Coslin smiled.
That monster was cool, right?
She held up a controller.
This can make any hologram I want.
She pressed a button, causing a huge octopus to appear. Coslin played with the buttons on the controller. A tidal wave rose from the ground, and then a spaceship zoomed toward them. Roxy ducked to avoid getting hit.
They're not real.
Laughing, Coslin made everything vanish. Roxy glared at her.
Why did you make that monster? That was dangerous.
Coslin shrugged.
It didn't hurt anyone.
No,
Roxy said.
but people were scared.
Coslin rolled her eyes.
I needed to find you. I looked all over and realized I had no idea where you might be. But then I said to myself, a big monster will get Rocket Girl's attention.
Coslin chuckled. Roxy frowned.
Okay,
Coslin held up her hands.
maybe it wasn't a good idea, but King Radnick said I needed your help.
Who's King Radnick?
Roxy asked.
The King of Delcor.
Coslin said.
A robot army is invading our planet, and he's really worried. So he insisted I ask you for help. I told him all about you after the first time I was here.
A robot army sounds serious.
Roxy said. Coslin shrugged.
I'm sure I can handle it. And I'm sure you have other things to do.
Roxy sighed.
I'd be happy to help you. But I don't know if I should leave Earth. What if someone robs a bank? What if huge bugs suddenly swarm the city? My city needs me.
Just then, Roxy's watch beeped. Usually, only Roxy could hear it, but Coslin looked down at it too.
What's that?
Coslin asked.
It's an emergency.
Roxy said. She flipped open the watch. All she could see was darkness.
Mayor Bloom, what's wrong? Mayor Bloom?
Mayor Bloom's face suddenly appeared, looking confused.
Rocket Girl, is everything okay? Did you get rid of that monster?
Yep.
Roxy said.
Is that why you called?
I didn't call you.
Mayor Bloom said.
You did, Mayor.
Roxy said.
I did?
Mayor Bloom chuckled.
Oops, I guess I sat on my phone.
Roxy sighed.
So, nothing's wrong?
Nope,
Mayor Bloom smiled.
I'm just organizing my desk.
Roxy closed her watch.
Kid Comet, I'll go with you.
Are you sure?
Coslin asked.
I can just tell King Radnick you were busy.
No,
Roxy said.
you need my help, so I'll help you. But promise me that you'll never scare the people of Metro City like that again.
I promise. I don't think this will take long at all. Probably just an hour or two. In fact, I could easily handle it on my own. But with your help, it'll get done faster.
Coslin said. Roxy gave Coslin a funny look.
You know, there's nothing wrong with needing help.
Coslin shrugged.
I like to work alone.
They got into Coslin's spaceship and blasted off. A power crystal in the control panel glowed brightly, and soon they were approaching Delcor. The spaceship flew over Delcor's capital. Looking down, both Roxy and Coslin gasped. The entire city was filled with robots.